You know that feeling when you're standing in front of the dishwasher, dishes piled in the sink, and your brain is screaming at you to just load them, but your body won't move? And then 3 hours later, you finally do it in a frantic 10-minute burst, only to collapse on the couch completely drained, like you just ran a marathon? That's not laziness. That's your ADHD brain burning through energy in ways most people will never understand. If you've ever felt like simple tasks cost you triple the mental fuel they cost everyone else, like you're constantly running on empty even when you haven't done anything, this is for you. Because what nobody tells you about living with an ADHD brain is that everything, and I mean everything, takes more effort than it should. And the worst part? You've probably been blaming yourself for it your entire life. Let me paint you a picture. Neurotypical brains have this beautiful, efficient system for motivation and action. They think about doing something, they feel a little nudge of motivation, and then they just do it. The brain releases dopamine naturally throughout that process, keeping them moving forward without much resistance. It's like their brain has a smooth, well-oiled conveyor belt that carries tasks from thought to completion. For them, starting the dishes isn't a battle. It's just the next thing. But your brain? Your brain is running on a completely different operating system. The dopamine that's supposed to fuel motivation, focus, and follow through, it's not flowing the way it should. It's like trying to start a car with a dying battery. You turn the key, and nothing happens. You know what you need to do, you know why you need to do it, but the signal just doesn't reach the engine. So you sit there, frozen, while shame and frustration build up inside you, and you wonder why everyone else makes it look so easy. If you're finding this relatable, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button and drop a like on this video. It helps more people who need to hear this actually find it. And trust me, you're not alone in this. Here's what most people don't understand. When you finally do start that task, when you finally break through that invisible wall, your brain doesn't just calmly get to work. It has to manufacture the energy it's been missing. And how does it do that? By flooding your system with adrenaline and cortisol, your stress hormones. Essentially, your brain tricks your body into thinking there's an emergency, because that's the only way it can generate enough juice to get you moving. You're not operating on sustainable energy. You're operating on panic. That's why you can sit paralyzed for hours, then suddenly clean your entire apartment at midnight in a caffeine-fueled frenzy. That's why you procrastinate until the deadline is so close you can taste the anxiety, and only then do you finally focus. That's why everything feels like a crisis, even when it's not. Because your brain has learned that crisis is the only reliable fuel source it has. And that system, that constant reliance on stress to function, is absolutely exhausting. Think about it like this. Imagine two people trying to get to the same destination. One person has a car with a full tank of gas. They get in, turn the key, and drive there calmly. The other person has an empty tank. They have to push the car for 3 miles just to get it to a gas station, fill it up with whatever cheap fuel they can find, then drive the rest of the way on fumes, white-knuckling the steering wheel the entire time. Both people arrive at the same place. But one of them is exhausted, stressed, and wondering why they can't just be normal. That's your daily experience. And everyone around you sees you arrive at the destination and thinks you're fine. They don't see the 3 miles you pushed that car. They don't see the energy you burned just to do what came naturally to them. They just see you getting it done at the last minute and think you're disorganized, dramatic, or lazy. And here's the part that really hurts. You start to believe them. You start to think that if you just tried harder, if you just cared more, if you just got your act together, it wouldn't be this hard. But the truth is, effort was never the problem. You've been putting in more effort than anyone around you can see. The problem is that your brain needs 10 units of energy to do what their brain does with 2. And nobody ever told you that. Nobody ever explained that your struggle wasn't a character flaw. It was a neurological difference. Let me give you another example. You're at work and your boss gives you a straightforward task. Write an email, update a spreadsheet, schedule a meeting. Simple stuff. Your coworker hears the same instruction, nods, and does it in 5 minutes. But you open your laptop, stare at the screen, and feel this overwhelming wave of resistance. It's not that you don't know how to do it. It's not that you don't want to do it. It's that your brain is asking for a reason. A compelling, emotionally engaging, dopamine-rich reason to care. And a routine email doesn't provide that. So you sit there, toggling between tabs, checking your phone, refilling your coffee, doing anything except the thing you're supposed to do. and the guilt starts creeping in. Why can't I just do this? Why is everyone else fine and I'm struggling with something so basic? But what you don't realize is that your brain isn't wired for routine. It's wired for novelty, urgency, and interest. Without one of those three elements, it simply won't engage. And no amount of willpower can force a neurological system to work the way it wasn't designed to. This is why you can hyper-focus for 6 hours on something you're passionate about, but you can't focus for 6 minutes on something boring. It's why you can learn an entire new skill in a weekend if it excites you, but you can't remember to pay a bill that's due tomorrow. Your brain isn't broken. It's just extremely selective about what it considers worth the energy. And in a world built for neurotypical brains, that selectivity makes you feel like you're failing constantly. And then there's the aftermath. Let's say you finally do the thing. You push through the resistance, you meet the deadline, you complete the task. Everyone else moves on with their day, energy intact. But you're wiped out. You feel like you just ran a mental marathon. Your brain has been running on stress hormones for hours, and now that the urgency is gone, the crash hits. You're irritable, foggy, unable to do anything else. People look at you and wonder why you're so tired. You only answered a few emails. What's the big deal? The big deal is that you didn't just answer emails. You fought a war inside your own head just to start. You burned through your reserves just to function. And now you're empty. But you can't explain that to people, because how do you describe a struggle that's completely invisible? How do you make someone understand that the simplest tasks cost you more than they'll ever know? This is the hidden cost of an ADHD brain. It's not just about being distracted or forgetting things. It's about the constant, relentless expenditure of energy that nobody sees. It's about living in a world that rewards consistency, routine, and calm focus, when your brain only lights up for chaos, novelty, and pressure. It's about spending your whole life feeling like you're doing something wrong, when really, you're just doing everything the hard way, because that's the only way your brain knows how. And the saddest part? Most people with ADHD don't even realize this is what's happening. They just think they're broken. They think they lack discipline, that they're not trying hard enough, that they're fundamentally flawed. They compare themselves to people whose brains work on autopilot for the things they have to manually crank through, and they feel like failures. But you're not failing. You're compensating, every single day, for a system that doesn't support the way your brain works. Here's something that might shift your perspective. Your brain isn't lazy. It's actually incredibly resourceful. Think about how much creativity it takes to constantly find new ways to make boring tasks interesting. Think about how much problem-solving goes into figuring out how to trick yourself into doing things. Think about how much resilience it takes to keep showing up, keep trying, keep pushing, even when everything feels 10 times harder than it should. That's not weakness. That's strength. You've just been using that strength to fight yourself instead of understanding yourself. The reason everything takes more effort with an ADHD brain isn't because you're not capable. It's because your brain is working with a different neurochemical baseline. It's like everyone else is starting their day at 50% battery, and you're starting at 15. They need a little charge to get going. You need a full reset. And when you don't get it, when you can't manufacture the dopamine or the urgency or the interest, your brain just won't cooperate. Not because it's defiant, because it's doing exactly what it was wired to do. So what does this mean for you? It means that the shame you've been carrying, the guilt, the feeling that you're not enough, that's not based on truth. That's based on a misunderstanding. You've been judging yourself by standards designed for a brain that works differently than yours. And that's not fair. You're not supposed to function like a neurotypical person any more than a fish is supposed to climb a tree. The system isn't broken. It's just different. And different doesn't mean less. The relief comes when you stop trying to be someone you're not and start working with the brain you have. That doesn't mean giving up or making excuses. It means being strategic. It means recognizing that you need different conditions to thrive. More movement, more novelty, more breaks, more structure in some areas and more flexibility in others. It means understanding that your bursts of hyperfocus are a gift, not a glitch, and that your need for rest after intense effort isn't laziness. It's recovery. It means forgiving yourself for all the times you thought you were failing, when really, you were just trying to run software your hardware wasn't built for. And it means realizing that the people who made it look easy weren't better than you. They just had a smoother ride. You've been pushing that car uphill your whole life. And you're still here, still trying, still showing up. That's not failure. That's courage. You're not too much. You're not too little. You're not broken. You're just wired for a different kind of world. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can stop fighting yourself and start designing a life that actually works for the brain you have. Because you deserve that. You deserve to stop exhausting yourself just to meet someone else's definition of normal. You deserve to understand that the effort you've been putting in all along was never invisible. It was just misunderstood, including by you.